My life changed. I did a total 180. I went from spending an ungodly amount of hours watching YouTube and playing video games to where it is now. Running and working out daily, even getting good grades and ending all those bad habits. The main reason I achieved this and even started self-improvement in the first place is because of a single mindset I learned from a game. A game that made me understand what real productivity is. That game being Persona 5 Royale. The moment I booted up the game and started playing it, the game instantly had me hooked. The visuals, the music, the intriguing story. But something else about the game caught my attention. The dungeon exploring and Phantom Thief stealing was a nice part of the game, but the actual school life was something I enjoyed far more. Now, if that was it, I might have still enjoyed the game, but the real selling point was the stats. By completing different activities, my stats were leveling up. Workout, sick, plus 2 to your max health. Went for a bath, charm increased. Studying on a rainy day, plus 3 to knowledge. It felt like I was actually making progress with every little 2-minute thing that I did. All these different ordinary things were fun because they led to my stats increasing. I quickly realized life was no different from Persona 5. The only difference was I didn't have any visible stats to measure progress, but they still exist. I realized everything you do is either increasing or decreasing your stats. I call it the level up mentality. I began to look at everything around me that I did with this more logical lens. After all, if studying is increasing my stats, then what is spending hours and hours binge watching content and playing video games doing? Lowering my stats. I realized actual productivity isn't just about locking in for a 2-hour study session. It's a lifestyle. Instead, productivity is something you should constantly strive towards. Productivity is just about maximizing your day to its fullest potential, no matter where you are or what happens. It's about removing everything lowering your stats and constantly doing things that increase your stats. It's just about doing the things you want to get better at every single day, just like you do in Persona 5. It's that simple. That's real productivity. You just focus on doing what's going to benefit you the most in the future. Thinking like this means not only are things like working out, studying, and organizing productive, but so is sleeping and spending meaningful time with friends. As long as you just do the things that benefit you in the future, your entire day can become productive. Looking back on it now and knowing about self-improvement, I realized the game had literally been screaming this message to me on every single loading screen. Take your time. Most people probably view this as take life slow, which I did at first, but then you could also argue the game is telling you to literally go take your time. You have to grab time with your own 2 hands, use it, mold it, utilize time to your advantage. With limited time being such a core mechanic of the game, this interpretation honestly makes sense. I don't think it was ever really intended to exactly be a symbol of self-improvement, but that's what it's become for me. After all, one of the central ideas throughout the game is breaking free from the chains of society. If that doesn't sound like self-improvement, I'm not sure what does. Not to mention the entire game and plot all started because of this one old guy. Literally just tells you it's time for you to start your rehabilitation, and everything just sort of escalates from there. Anyways, every time before you do anything, or even when you're planning out your day, I want you to ask yourself, how is this affecting your stats? Keep your sword sharp. Bye bye.